Let me ask you something. How many times have you set a goal, got excited, made a plan, and then life got in the way, the motivation faded, and before you knew it, that dream just sat there like an old book collecting dust on a shelf? Sound familiar? Listen to me. If you only chase goals, you'll always be running after them. But when you hunt them, you make them yours. You lock in, you don't wait. You don't wish. You take what you came for. And that's exactly what we're talking about today. See, there's a difference between the person who wants something and the person who decides it's already theirs. You've seen it. There's a different energy, a different fire in their eyes. It's a difference between a lion stalking its prey and a house cat hoping the food bowl gets refilled. The question is, who are you going to be? You know what keeps most people stuck, waiting. They sit there thinking, planning, hoping, wishing, telling themselves, one day I'll start, when I have more time, when I feel ready, when life slows down. And you know what happens? Nothing. Because there's never going to be a perfect moment. There's never going to be a time when everything just magically aligns and success walks up to your front door, rings the bell and says, hey, I'm here. That's not how this works. If you want something, you move. You don't wait for the right conditions, the right energy, or the right people to support you. You take the first step no matter how messy, no matter how uncomfortable, and no matter how uncertain it feels. Because let me tell you, clarity doesn't come before action. It comes because of action. People sit around thinking, overanalyzing, questioning every little detail. And what they don't realize is that all that thinking is just fear wearing a disguise. It's procrastination dressed up as, I'm being responsible. It's hesitation pretending to be, I just need to be sure. But deep down, what's really happening? Fear of failure, fear of looking stupid, fear of putting yourself out there, not getting it right the first time. Let me tell you something, you won't get it right the first time. You won't have it all figured out, and that's okay. Nobody does. Every successful person you admire, every legend, every icon, every game changer, you think they had a perfect plan. You think they never doubted themselves. No. The difference is they moved anyway. They took steps before they knew the whole path. They were willing to be bad at something before they got good. The truth is, the longer you wait, the harder it gets. The more you sit in hesitation, the more you convince yourself that maybe it's not the right time, maybe you're not capable, maybe you should settle for something safer. And that's exactly how dreams die, not in some dramatic moment of failure, but in small, quiet moments of I'll do it tomorrow. One delay turns into a week turns into a month, and before you know it, years have passed. So what are you waiting for? Someone to give you permission. Some magical feeling of certainty? That feeling never comes. You create it by starting. You take one step, and that step leads to another. The movement builds momentum. And suddenly, what felt impossible starts feeling real. What felt out of reach starts feeling within your grasp. But you'll never know unless you stop thinking about it and start moving toward it. Motivation is nice, but it's unreliable. It comes and goes like the weather. Some days you wake up fired up, ready to take on the world, and other days you don't even want to get out of bed. That's just being human. But if you rely on motivation to get things done, you're setting yourself up for failure. Because what happens on the days when you don't feel like it? What happens when the excitement wears off? Most people stop. They wait until they feel inspired again, and that's why they never make it. The people who succeed don't wait to feel like it. They don't ask themselves, do I have the energy today? They just do it. They've trained themselves to show up no matter what. And that's the difference between those who get what they want and those who just talk about it. It's not talent, it's not luck, it's not some secret formula, it's the ability to keep moving forward even when every part of them wants to stop. Think about athletes training for the Olympics. Do you think they wake up every day excited to push their bodies to the limit? Do you think they're always in the mood to train when they're sore, exhausted, or frustrated? No, but they do it anyway. Because they're not running on motivation, they're running on discipline. They have locked in so deeply on their vision that skipping a day is not even an option. They understand that results don't come from occasional bursts of effort. They come from showing up day after day, even when it's hard. Most people want success, but they don't want the discomfort that comes with it. They want the results, but they don't want to push through the days when everything feels like a grind. They wait for motivation to magically reappear, thinking, once I feel inspired again, I'll get back on track. But that's the problem. You don't wait for the feeling. You create it by taking action. The more you do, the more momentum you build, and that momentum fuels everything else. The key is rewiring your mindset. Stop making decisions based on how you feel in the moment. Feelings are temporary, but commitment is what gets you to the finish line. The moment you stop treating action as optional, everything changes. You stop looking for excuses. You stop negotiating with yourself. You stop saying, I'll do it later, because you understand that later is just another word for never. When a hunter goes after something, they don't just wander around hoping they'll get lucky. They study, they learn, they observe. They understand exactly what they're after, where to find it, how it moves, when to strike, and what obstacles stand in the way. That's the mindset you need. Because most people don't fail because they aren't capable. They fail because they have no strategy. They go into things blindly, hoping things will just fall into place. They set a goal, get excited for a few days, and then when things don't go as planned, they panic. They get discouraged. They quit. Not because they weren't talented enough, but because they never prepared for what was coming. You don't just wake up and decide to be great at something. You train for it. You put in the hours to understand what it takes. You learn the terrain, you study the game, and you anticipate every possible challenge before it even happens. That's what real hunters do. They don't waste energy chasing what they can't catch. They position themselves exactly where they need to be so that when the moment comes, they don't hesitate. They don't think twice. They take the shot. Think about the people who rise to the top of their field. They aren't the ones who just want success. They are the ones who are obsessed with understanding everything about it. The great athletes don't just practice their sport. They study their competition. They analyze their weaknesses. They know their strengths inside and out. Entrepreneurs who build billion-dollar businesses don't just launch an idea and hope it works. They research, they test, they adapt. Every move they make is calculated. Every decision is based on knowledge, not impulse. That's why they win. Too many people set goals without any real knowledge of what it takes to achieve them. They get excited about the destination, but ignore the journey. And when they run into problems they didn't see coming, they crumble. That's why preparation is everything. If you want something, don't just dream about it. Study it. Understand what it actually requires. Break it down into steps. Know what sacrifices you'll have to make. And then ask yourself, am I really ready to do what it takes? Because if you're not, you'll quit the second things get hard. A real hunter doesn't chase blindly. They track, they adjust. They know when to be patient and when to go all in. And when they see the opportunity, the perfect moment to strike, they don't hesitate. They take it. Because they've already done the work, they already know it's theirs. Most people see obstacles as a stop sign. They hit a challenge and suddenly they start questioning everything. Or maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I should try something easier. But that's the problem. They think obstacles are a sign to turn back when really they're the test to see how bad you want it. If you quit every time things get tough, you were never serious about it in the first place. Look at anyone who has ever accomplished anything great. They didn't get there because the road was smooth. They got there because every time they hit a wall, they found a way to break through it. They didn't complain. They didn't waste time feeling sorry for themselves. They used it as fuel. That's the difference between people who succeed and people who stay stuck. The ones who win are the ones who turn pain into power. Think about fire. You could throw a piece of wood into it and it will burn up and disappear. Or you can throw steel into it and the fire will make it stronger. That's what challenges do. They either break you or they build you. And the only difference is your mindset. You can see struggle as something that's happening to you, or you can see it as something that's happening for you. Every setback is a lesson. Every failure is a redirection. Every hardship is shaping you into the person you need to become to handle the success you're after. Most people say they want success, but what they really mean is they want it if it's easy. They want it if everything goes according to plan. But life doesn't work like that. No great story is written without struggle. No champion is crowned without first being tested. The struggle is what makes the victory mean something. If it came easy, everyone would have it. If it came without resistance, it wouldn't be worth anything. When something goes wrong, most people panic. They take it as a sign that they should stop, but the ones who really make it, they see obstacles as proof that they're on the right path. Because if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. The fact that it's hard means you're onto something real. It means you're growing, evolving, becoming the kind of person who can handle the level of success you're chasing. So the next time you hit a roadblock, don't fold. Don't wish for it to be easier. Get stronger, get smarter. Use it, because the people who push through, they don't just reach their goals, they earn them. Most people are stuck because they're waiting for permission. They're waiting for someone to tell them they're good enough, smart enough, talented enough. They're waiting for a sign, a green light, a guarantee that it's all going to work out. But life doesn't work like that. Nobody is coming to tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, it's your time now. Nobody is going to hand you the life you want. If you want it, you have to take it. You have to decide that you're worthy of it before anybody else does. Too many people waste years waiting. They think, oh, once I get more experience, once I get the right connections, once I feel ready, then I'll start. But here's the truth. You'll never feel ready. You'll never have all the answers. And if you wait for someone to validate you, you'll be waiting forever. People who make it in this world are the ones who stop waiting and start acting. They step forward when they're uncertain. They start before they feel prepared. They throw themselves into the deep end and figure it out as they go. Think about the people you look up to, the ones who inspire you. Do you think they had everything figured out before they started? Do you think they waited for someone to tell them they were good enough? No. They believed in themselves before they had the proof. They didn't ask for permission. They didn't wait for approval. They claimed it. And that's why they made it. The truth is, most people are so afraid of failing that they never even try. They spend their whole lives sitting on the sidelines, watching other people live their dreams, wondering, oh, what if? But the only way to know is to do it, to take the risk, to step into the unknown and trust yourself enough to handle whatever comes next. You don't need anyone's permission to go after what you want. You don't need someone to tell you that you're ready. The only thing you need is the decision to start. Because once you do, everything changes. The doubts get quieter, the fear loses its power. The more you move, the more confident you become, and the more confident you become, the less you care about what anyone else thinks. Most people die with their dreams still inside them because they were waiting for the right moment. But the right moment is whenever you decide it is. If you're tired of waiting, if you're tired of watching other people do what you know you're capable of, then stop asking for permission. Give it to yourself. Take the risk, step forward, and own it. Most people don't fail because they aren't capable. They fail because they stop too soon. They hit a wall, things get tough, and instead of pushing through, they back off. They start looking for a way out instead of a way forward. But the truth is, everything you want is on the other side of that breaking point. That moment when you feel like you can't take another step, that's when it really counts. That's the test. Anybody can start something, anybody can set a goal and feel excited about it in the beginning. But what separates the ones who make it from the ones who don't? It's what they do when the excitement wears off, when the progress slows down. When it feels like nothing is working, that's when most people quit, not because they weren't good enough, not because it was impossible, but because they couldn't handle the pressure of pushing past the hard part. Think about climbing a mountain. At the bottom, you're full of energy. You're motivated, you can see the peak in the distance, and you're ready to take it on. But as you start climbing, things change. The air gets thinner. Your muscles start to ache. The path gets steeper. And at some point, you start thinking, maybe I should turn back. That's the moment where most people give up, right before they break through. Right before they reach the part where everything starts to shift. Success is not about never struggling. It's about learning to push forward while you struggle. It's about understanding that the hardest moments are the ones that shape you the most. Every time you want to quit but choose to keep going, you're becoming stronger. You're proving to yourself that you can handle more than you thought, and that's how you grow. That's how you turn into the kind of person who not only reaches their goals, but owns them. Most people think success is about talent. They think it's about luck. But it's not. It's about endurance. It's about being willing to keep going when most people would stop. It's about knowing that just because something is taking longer than you expected doesn't mean it won't happen. The people who win are not the ones who never feel doubt. They're the ones who feel it and move forward anyway. The finish line is always closer than it seems, but you'll never reach it if you keep stopping when things get tough. You have to be relentless. You have to develop the kind of mindset that says, no matter how long this takes, no matter how hard it gets, I am not stopping. Because the second you make that decision, the second you commit to seeing it through no matter what, that's the moment success starts chasing you back. So let me leave you with this. What's your goal? That thing you've been chasing for weeks, months, maybe years? Stop running after it. Hunt it down and don't stop until it's yours. Because if you don't, someone else will. And that person might as well be you.